Weather emergency preparedness might conjure up mental images of concrete bomb shelters or forklift loads of canned green beans, but it's actually a very practical and household-focused activity. The first step is disaster planning, which should be done well in advance of any specific event. People can start by finding out what kinds of emergencies are likely in their area. Then they can take steps like getting the right insurance, making safety improvements to homes and yards, writing a family emergency and communications plan, and assembling disaster supply kits. These supply kits are an essential part of the preparation. They should include supplies that may be used either during an evacuation or at home, if the situation requires people to shelter in place. Families can start small, perhaps stocking a duffel bag with some dried fruit or energy bars, first aid supplies, a flashlight, and batteries. Once started, it can be added to over time. The food already sitting in a pantry may be sufficient, but it should be enough to feed all people and animals in a household for 2 weeks. Likewise, there should be enough water for all people and pets for a minimum of 3 days, but ideally 2 weeks. A gallon per person per day is a good guideline. When a disaster is imminent, people need to know whether they may be required to evacuate. Since orders vary by location and situation, your role as a broadcaster is extremely important because people will turn to you for guidance. If time is available, people can prepare their homes to minimize damage. For example, trash cans, patio furniture, and other loose items should be brought indoors if hurricane-force winds are in the forecast. On the other hand, a wildfire threat should prompt people to clear the yard of anything like wood piles or barbecue gas canisters, which might catch fire or explode. Those who are directed to stay at home might fill the bathtub with water, turn the freezer to its coldest setting, and shut off the gas line. If evacuation is ordered, last-minute preparations may include filling the car's gas tank, grabbing the disaster supply kit, securing the home, and shutting off the utilities. People should stick to official evacuation routes, stay well away from downed power lines, and never attempt to cross flooded roadways. Returning to or emerging from home after a disaster can often be one of the most dangerous and stressful times. Loose or damaged power lines, gas leaks, structural damage, falling objects, contaminated water, and poisonous snakes are just some of the many hazards. You can make a big difference in people's lives by warning of such dangers and offering health and safety tips throughout the recovery phase. Finally, don't forget the importance of attitude. Encouraging viewers to maintain a can-do attitude can make the difference between not just surviving a weather emergency, but surviving in comfort and good cheer. True or false? People struck by lightning carry an electrical charge and should not be touched. Lightning strike victims carry no electrical charge and should be attended to immediately. It's 6 p.m. on a sultry summer night. Lightning flashes, thunder cracks. The pets run under the bed. This is just another summer thunderstorm. Or is it? The power winks off as a tree hit by lightning down the street lands on a line, snapping it and sending live wires into the rain-soaked street. The creeks start rising all over town, and water pours into the basement window wells. Suddenly there's a bang and a whoosh. The basement window has exploded and water is pouring in. It's going to be a long night. These are the sorts of challenges your viewers may face when severe thunderstorms and heavy rain strike. Though common, they are every bit as deadly as hurricanes and tornadoes. A 30-year NOAA study found floods killed an average of 99 Americans a year. Lightning killed 62. Lightning can stop hearts, burn skin, and sizzle nervous systems, causing permanent debility. Of those struck by lightning, almost a third die and 3/4 of the survivors are permanently disabled. Sometimes health problems surface months later. When thunderstorms are forecast, remind your viewers about the 30-30 rule. Take shelter if the time from seeing a flash to hearing thunder is less than 30 seconds, and don't emerge until 30 minutes have passed from the last lightning and thunder. The best shelter is a fully enclosed building. Picnic shelters, sheds, greenhouses, and tents are not safe. If an enclosed building is not available, the next best choice is a hard-topped car. There is no safe place to be outside in a thunderstorm, but if no shelter is available, people should move to a low area or dense stand of equally tall trees. Never seek shelter under isolated trees or structures. Hikers caught in open areas should crouch with head down and hands covering ears. Swimmers and boaters are especially at risk in a thunderstorm and should get to land and seek shelter immediately when lightning is observed. Stationary, slow-moving, or multiple thunderstorms over an area can often trigger dangerous and deadly flash floods, especially in narrow canyons or low-lying urban areas. When caught in a flood-prone area during a heavy rain event, people should stay away from the water and move to higher ground as quickly as possible. Never attempt to cross swiftly moving water on foot, as even strong swimmers risk drowning. Nearly half of all flash flood fatalities occur in vehicles. Cars may be swept away by as little as 2 feet of moving water. Floods can also erode roadbeds and fill underpasses, turning them into death traps. Driving into a flooded underpass can quickly put you in water several yards or meters deep. Urge viewers not to risk their lives just to make an appointment or avoid a few hours or days of annoyance. Floodwater can also spread chemical and biological dangers like infectious microorganisms from inundated sewage treatment plants. Such pollution sullies tap water and anything else it contacts. Safe water for drinking, cooking, and personal hygiene during these times must be bottled, boiled, or treated. Bringing water to a roiling boil for 1 minute will kill most bacteria and parasites. When that isn't an option, chlorine tablets, iodine tablets, or adding 1/8 teaspoon liquid bleach per gallon of clear water or 1/4 teaspoon of bleach per gallon of cloudy water will kill bacteria, but not parasitic organisms. During cleanup, your viewers shouldn't forget good hand hygiene either. Frequent washing with soap and water or hand sanitizer is a must. When the National Weather Service issues a blizzard warning, what does it mean? A blizzard warning means sustained winds or frequent gusts of 35 miles or 56 kilometers per hour or greater, and considerable falling or blowing snow that reduces visibility to less than 1/4 mile, 4/10 of a kilometer. In addition, these conditions must be expected to prevail for a period of 3 hours or longer. People in a warning area should take precautions immediately. On April 13, 2008, Kenneth Walton, 52, and Deborah Jean Smith, 46, were headed to Myrtle Creek, Oregon, from the nearby town of Canyonville when their car got stuck in the snow. The pair had just started dating and had shared breakfast at a restaurant in Canyonville. 2 days later, Walton was found dead in the snow about 50 yards away from Johnny Springs Road, the route the pair had set out on. It didn't have to end this way. The couple's car had gotten stuck in the snow, and after a few hours of trying to get the car unstuck, Walton, who had muscular dystrophy and used a cane to walk, set out to get help. He only made it about a mile before he could go no further. Yet after 2 nights lodged in the snowdrift, Smith managed to free the car and drive it to safety. Walton was among the average of 41 Americans killed each year by winter storms. You can help prevent similar tragedies by reminding your viewing audience of winter weather precautions. Urge viewers to avoid travel during winter storms, but when winter driving can't be avoided, people should at least prepare for the worst. Cars should be winterized and pre-stocked with warm clothing, blankets, and food and water. Tire chains and mobile phones are also good ideas. When driving in winter weather, viewers should notify friends and family of their planned routes and expected arrival time. They should ask the same people to notify authorities if they are late. If stranded, people should stay in their car and tie a brightly colored cloth to the antenna. Strandees should wrap themselves in whatever clothing, blankets, or even newspapers are available, and stay awake if possible. They should run the motor and heater for about 10 minutes per hour, opening one window slightly to let in air, and make sure snow is not blocking the exhaust pipe, which will reduce the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. Heavy snows can also cause deaths at home if power is lost. Viewers should always try to have a backup heat source on hand, like a properly vented fireplace, heating stove, or kerosene heater. Urge viewers never to use an emergency generator, charcoal, or gas grill indoors, as the fumes are deadly, or leave candles unattended, as they can start fires. If the power goes out during a winter storm for less than 2 hours, food in refrigerators and freezers should be safe. If the weather is cold enough, consider moving refrigerated or frozen goods to a garage or other unheated part of the house. Closing off unneeded rooms and stuffing towels or rags in cracks under doors will help preserve heat in inhabited rooms. Viewers should also close draperies or cover windows with blankets at night. Infants and seniors are particularly vulnerable to cold and should be carefully watched. Babies should never be left in cold rooms to sleep.